All right, so just to set this up, where are we headed now?
We are going to, there's a friend of mine has a real nice pond. It's up on his property. It's loaded with frogs. It's a nice place because you could drive right up to it. It's not like a lot of the ponds we go to, you have to trek a bit to get to it. This thing, you just drive right up to the edge and go grab you a frog.
What is the process for getting a frog?
It's pretty simple. You take a flashlight. That's why we're going at night. It gets dark. The frogs will sit out along the water or in the water, a little shallow, whatever else. But you shine a flashlight at them. They freeze for a second, and then you bend over and pick them up. Or you use a net.
So we will be using a net.
Yeah, I have 3 nets. And it's funny, too. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. A buddy of mine contends that a frog faces the shoreline. Why does it face the shoreline? Well, it faces the shoreline because that's where predators come from. So he would get in a little inner tube and get into the pond and come at them from the middle of the pond, thinking that they're looking out. I think that's a lot of hogwash, but it sounds good. So I say it's a lot of hogwash, but in the same breath, he would catch 5 frogs to my 1. So I wouldn't call him on it too often.
TBTL.
We can get money from selling oil, gold, and the crystals.
That's a very good idea.
I saw that in the movie
This
I
one.
watched,
What movie was that?
The Muppet.
You know, these two are good. Very, very tough to do a morning show, this chit-chatty kind of thing. But these two have an intellect behind whatever it is they're doing.
I'm not very good with chit-chat. I like a structured communication. I like a hard out. You know, chit, chat. Oh, chit. Where are we going with this?
Stay patient, people. Stay patient. This is going to be worth it, I promise. Maybe not, but it's worth it to me.
All right, hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Wednesday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
Please don't be mean to Cleveland.
My name is Luke Burbank. I'm your host.
Oh, hey, y'all said my name.
Coming to you once again from beautiful but very warm Valley City, Ohio.
Be careful, though. It's spicy.
Nestled in the greater Liverpool township. Here we are once again, day 3 of TBTL A-thon 17, jumping for joy. We are here raising money for the program, keeping the program going, and also entering a frog in the Valley City Frog Jump Contest on Sunday. And we moved a little bit closer to that last night when we went out and we did some frog capture on a farm late at night.
They've never touched anything in their lives. Let them touch those things for once.
We'll give you a full update on how all of that went, and also we'll activate the frog cam here on episode 4771 in a collector series.
Let the fun begin.
Also, we'll be taking your phone calls because we're streaming live right now all over the world on YouTube by way of tbtl.net. And you can call us at 206-414-TBTL, 206-414-TBTL. Andrew, let me introduce my friend Andrew Walsh, by the way, longest-running Cobro of the show, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships.
Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
He's asking about the fish sandwich because he got ever so late of a start this morning. We saved him a couple of fish sandwiches, and here he is. Again, he's Andrew Walsh. He's joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good afternoon, my frog brother.
Yes, it is where we are, technically the afternoon. I was quite surprised this morning. You seemed actually very poised, very together when I saw you as we were getting ready to head off to the broadcast center here at the Liverpool Township Community Center. But I learned that you had only recently awoken.
Yeah, we were out late last night looking
Frog
for
catching.
these frogs, catching some feelings for some frogs, I would say, too. More on that later. But we didn't even get out to the pond until like 9:30 or something like that. We spent some time out there. We met some pigs. And by the time we came back here to do some technical stuff we'll tell you about in a little bit. And then by the time we got back to the Airbnb, it was after 11, right?
Yeah.
But I was still all wound up, so I had a couple of Miller Lights. I played some pool in the garage.
It's interesting to see Andy Times unfold in front of our very eyes in real time. When we had booked the Airbnb, the ad for the Airbnb, all the photos, it showed a pool table. But there is not a pool table anywhere inside the house or in the basement. And last night we got home, and again, we got some frogs. We set up, and by we, I mean, Andrew, you set up the frog cam and got it all working, which we're gonna go live here in a few minutes with that. We got back home, and you even said, I've got all this kind of like energy right now. Where's that pool table?
Yeah, I felt like I was babbling. By the way, I didn't even know there was a pool table until we got to Cleveland. John said something about a pool table in a garage, but then I sort of forgot about it. And then last night I was like, I could use some unwinding. I'm not a big pool guy, by the way. I want to be clear about that. But I played darts in the basement a lot. Just some sort of like, I put on some Tom Waits, had myself some Miller Lite, and just like hit some pool balls around a table. Was not very good. Made frenemies with a giant raccoon.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. You said that we have an enormous raccoon.
Enormous.
In the backyard of the Airbnb who is learning. It has become sentient.
Yes, and now did I close, the bathroom window does not have a screen, and right now, I guess raccoons are not going to be coming in the house during the day, right?
I don't think that's their move, but...
Because we're not heading back to the Airbnb until late tonight. We think I closed the bathroom window?
I don't think you did, because I think that's the bathroom that you've been showering in. You're airing it out.
And it's ground floor, and so when I get out of the shower, it's really steamy in there, so I cracked the window a bit. But today, I thought it's the exact level of the raccoon. Because I watched this raccoon. Actually, I didn't watch it get established, but I heard... I'm in the garage, and I hear some clanking, and I look over. There's two... garbage bins right outside of our house, leaning up against the back of the house, and one of them is slightly shorter than the other. One's for trash, one's for recycling, I assume. I don't know which is which. But I look over, and there's this huge raccoon, and it somehow has opened the lid of the larger thing.
It's putting a bag of dog poop in the garbage can, which is one of the number one things that ticks you off.
So I wrote to the... to the HOA. No, the thing I want to make very clear here is the garbage bins are not like overflowing. You know what I mean? The lids aren't like cracked open because there's too much garbage in there. It's very tidy back there. It looks like, I didn't even open them, but it's weird. Usually the first thing I do when I get to an Airbnb is sort of like check out the garbage situation. But I saw that somehow this raccoon with its little raccoon hands somehow stood on one of these things, opened this heavy lid of the bigger bin. Picture like the biggest recycling bin at your house. Opened it. I watched it stick its head in there, and I start saying, no, but it doesn't care. It's not well trained. And then it comes out with some sort of rag or paper towel, something that must have smelled like food, and I watch it methodically take this thing, then close the lid, let gravity do the job, and then jump down, and then it skittered off to the corner, and then it went over, or it kind of went by this fence that separates our house from the neighbors. Later on, I even thought, I'm like, ooh, I hope that doesn't come in the garage because I'd be cornered and scared. And then I'm playing pool about, 10 minutes later, I look over. The raccoon is creeping up on me, heading towards the garage. And you know what I did? I hissed at it, and it worked.
Wow. We were having all kinds of animal experiences here. We were frog catching last night. You had the raccoon. This morning on my little jog, I encountered a full-on badger.
Really?
Which I took a photo of.
I'm trying to think of if I could picture a badger.
Well, he looked like a less scary Wolverine.
Oh.
So I took that to mean badger. He didn't seem aggressive. He didn't have claws. He bore almost no resemblance to Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
Oh, hey, speaking of Marvel characters, hey, look who else we have here. He's half bear, he's half man, he's all John Sklarov. He's TBTL employee numero uno.
I am doing my job here.
Welcome to the program, sir.
Hey, should I drive back to the Airbnb? Because this is the first I'm hearing about a raccoon potentially running rampant through our house.
The problem is that window. If he climbs into if he climbs into that window into what we're calling Andrew's bathroom, I do think the door was also open to the rest of the house.
That's what I'm worried about.
So he's got pretty much full run of the place.
But every morning I've made a point of closing that window.
Okay, well then
but I don't know that I did today because, as you said, I was discombobulated. This all started with me. I overslept today. I forgot to. I probably didn't go to bed until 3 o'clock. And I want to make it clear, like I wasn't up. Like getting
wilding out.
Yeah, wilding out. I talked to Genevieve for a while.
You weren't down there on scooters, which is the new. What's the name of the? Jessica was telling us about.
Hooples.
No, the club that's been that's been brought back to life and is now having all the
Shooters.
Shooters. You weren't down in the flats at Shooters.
No, it was a chill night, but I even got some work done. You guys went to bed. I edited some tape. Some of that you got to hear one of the Daves at the beginning of the show.
I want to talk more about that tape in a minute, please.
And so I was editing that, and I was getting work done. It wasn't like we were out like crazy, wild and out. But then I just got home late, so I didn't fall asleep. I know until about 3 o'clock in the morning. But we don't have to wake up super early to do this gig since we're on East Coast time. And I woke up this morning. I'm kind of like, a little logy. Like, I should check my clock. But I'm like, yeah, but the alarm hasn't gone off yet. So I know it's before 8:30. Like, just rest your eyes a little bit more. And then at a certain point, I'm like, it is funny that that alarm has not gone off yet. Again, set for 8:30. I roll over, grab my phone. It's 10:30 in the damn morning. We're supposed to leave at 11.
So what percentage, what are the chances that we get home and the raccoon's eating some of our pretzels and hummus?
I think it'd have a hard time getting into the pretzel case. Although if it was able to open the garbage
knocks
can,
it to the ground, that lid's popping.
That's how
right
I've been
off.
getting into it.
I noticed.
By the way, Andrew, here's a picture of my badger, I believe, from my run today.
All right. It'd be funny to use a photo of a badger on a day that we adopt frogs.
I know. The thing I was going to ask before I sort of prematurely brought you onto the program, Andrew, I hadn't played your sound effect, was I was giving out the phone number. 206-414-TBTL. But I was reflecting on something that happened yesterday, which was we had a call from a listener in Kentucky, Dana, who was saying she was telling a story about being on a date with a guy who used to work at the Pizza Hut when she was a kid. It was a riveting call. It was fascinating. And we were all thinking, should we start focusing the phone call? Should we put out a topic? Should there be something, I don't know, pet related, like small animal related? We were out catching frogs last night. If you have a story about like a small animal that you've had in your life, like I had a gerbil named Harvey that I brought home from I don't know if it was third grade. It was that thing where I think at the end of the year, the teacher was like, anybody want this gerbil? I brought it home. So let's try this. And we didn't work this out pre-show.
We already have a caller on the line. I hope the caller can hear us now. Caller, be ready with a story about a little animal that you've adopted. It's
some kind of
little animal named Fluffy.
Some kind of animal maybe that you adopted or that your friend did, or I don't know, a run-in with a raccoon. We're looking for animal-based conversation today on the phone lines, 206-414 TBTL. Should we jump on that first call? Should we just get going early? All right, let's see.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hello, you're on Calling All Pets.
Ahoy, hoy, friendos.
Who's this?
So sorry. This is Jake in Chicago.
Hey, Jake, the perfect daddy. How are you, buddy?
Daddy.
Yes, sir. Doing all right. So on the topic of unexpected, potentially illegal pets.
Yes. Perfect.
When during COVID, if you all recall, where there was a time when everybody was like, well, we can at least hang out in the backyard.
Yes.
So a bunch of us got together. I was visiting friends up in Michigan, and a bunch of us got together and hung out on the back porch of somebody's home. And a couple hours in, we look up, and on the wooden fence is just an opossum with its eyes wide open. It's staring at us like, why are you guys in my house? And we're all like, very, very sorry, sir. I did not know you lived here.
Jake, that's interesting. You went with opossum. That must be a Michigan thing. I feel like I'm not saying it's incorrect. I came, up in the West where it was possum country, but you came from opossum country.
You know what? I will tell you, I did second guess myself before saying opossum.
Listen,
they're both right. I'm pretty sure they're
I don't
both
think
right.
you're wrong. It's just always interesting to me where we get the possum and where we get the opossum.
I don't know what the difference is, but somebody once told me there is a difference.
Really? I thought there was no difference.
Well, the O.
Yeah,
we called them sums in Valley City. You just call them sums here.
The thing about the opossum or the possum is they've really, due to their inability to cross the road, literally, I feel like, and the fact that they do have a kind of a terrifying rat tail and a kind of a scary rat face at times, they have gotten, I think, kind of a bad rap. But if you've ever seen opossum mommy with the opossum babies, that'll melt your heart right on the spot. I think the possums are pretty cute, actually.
They also, I recently learned this, they're really good at like getting rid of like animals or like small critters or bugs that are bad for your garden. So they're actually like a benefit to have where you are. If you see them in your neighborhood, like obviously stay clear of them, but they're good for everyone.
Yes, we love the possums. We stand the possums around here. Jake, what else other than small animal talk? Anything else you wanted to throw our way here on this Wednesday morning?
I did want to update you on the difference between opossums and possums.
Okay,
Excellent.
you're doing some
God, you're both the cause and the solution to all of our problems today.
That's me. Opossums are exclusively found in North America, whereas possums are native to Australia, New Zealand, and China.
I
So
apologize.
is everything
I was wrong.
here an opossum? And I've been saying the wrong thing.
Opossums is plain dead, but possums do not.
Oh, opossum, where art thou?
Where are you getting this information?
AI overview.
That's what I
A
was
man called Bob Villa has a website.
Oh.
Wait, his name is Bob Villa?
Villa?
Is it the This Old Homes guy?
Bob Villa?
This Old House?
Tried, true, trustworthy home advice.
That's Bob Villa.
Bob Villa, yeah, he was the first guy who came up when I said possum versus opossum.
I can't believe we're turning to Bob Villa for our possum information.
We need some secondary sources on this, I think.
Well, to be fair, I shouldn't note this article was written by Danielle Fallon O'Leary.
Okay. Right.
So
under
it's just
the
kind of- he's
under
just
the This
posting
Old
it.
House website, right? The blog, the web blog for This Old House.
It looks like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is a show. I'm not sure if they're still putting that on public television. I would assume so.
Was that public?
Oh yeah, This Old
I didn't
House
remember
with Bob
that it was.
Vila.
I didn't. For some reason, I did not think it was public. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm. The older I get, the more wrong I am on everything. But my memory is that it was a public television show.
Okay.
Which is why it kind of had was
Yeah.
folksy. They were always working. Seemed like they were always working on a Victorian somewhere, like in the Northeast somewhere.
Could you see yourself sort of like getting down with that now, like old reruns of that from the 80s, like
Yes.
as a way of like kind of
And
because
have.
you actually very much are like you're living the life of like home renovation and all that stuff, so you'd find it interesting on that level, but it'll also sort of have that Bob Rossian sort of just comfort to it.
Exactly. I actually, where I find myself interacting with their content is if I'm trying to figure out how to do something on my house and I go on YouTube and I'm like, how do you do this kind of a thing? It will be one of the videos that comes up, and it's the gold standard.
Really? That's great.
It's going to be the absolute way you should do it. The video will be easily 40 to 50 minutes longer than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that the YouTube home improvement videos are now is a lot of them, they don't even have any talking. They're just music, and they're super compressed. It's got some weird rights-free music playing where it's just showing you exactly the thing you want. This Old House is more like, I'm here with Mary. She's been living in Sudderbury for the last 30 years, and she needs this baluster replaced. And then it's like a very, like, again, folksy.
Yeah.
But the actual craftsmanship of what they're doing is definitely the gold standard of things.
Nice.
Jake, anything else that you want to share today?
Well, I have been without a job for about a year now, and I have a job interview tomorrow that's pretty promising.
Okay,
So,
tell me about it.
If I could get every 10 to cross their fingers for me tomorrow, I would
Would
greatly
it be a
appreciate
jinx? Would it be a jinx if you gave us any of the broad strokes about what kind of job it might be?
That's funny you ask. Because I in the past have talked smack about the CEOs of my previous companies and then promptly got fired afterwards.
Oh, well, don't do
I don't
that.
think they were related.
Don't do that.
But
And
I
don't-
will tell you,
Okay.
it's I will say it's a large beverage concern in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Is it do they even do in-person interviews anymore, or is this all on Zoom these days?
This is my third interview. The first one was over the phone.
Okay.
The second one was over Zoom for about 2 minutes until the guy's video got too choppy, and then he just called me on the phone. And then this third interview is going to be in person and 2 hours long, apparently.
Whoa.
Talking to 4 different people. Which is
That's good though.
very thorough.
That's pretty far into the. I mean, honestly, when I was interviewing for jobs and kind of going through that tiered process too, this was before Zoom, but very similar, phoner, and then they bring you in. Sometimes those could even be all-day events. You're going around, you're meeting all the different people or what have you. 2 hours, knowing that it's kind of like limited to 2 hours, I think is good. You can always see sort of the end of it. Can you tell us anything about what kind of work it is?
Like administrative assistants, that kind of thing.
This
Office
is great.
managing.
Nice.
Okay, good. I'm very excited for you.
Okay, we're going to be sending
Thank
you
you.
incredibly positive energy starting now.
Yes.
Computer, make Jake have the best There's this guy on TikTok that I love. He just walks up to people in the streets of New York and he goes, "Computer, make these people horny and gay." Computer, firewalls down. Make these people have the best fashion day of their entire life. Computer. And everyone now knows who this guy is. So right when he'll just get up to particularly young people, he'll just go, "Computer." And they'll go, "You're computer guy." They're like so excited. Computer, firewalls down at the major beverage concern. Make Jake have the best interview of all time tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, buddy,
And
we're
then
rooting for you.
I can finally start donating to TBTL
Listen,
again,
my
which has been a
friend,
goal of mine.
our friend, you have done much for the show. So you do whatever is right for you, and you're always loved and appreciated around here.
I also count half of Nick's donation as yours, Jake, because you got him.
Fair point.
Yes.
Fair point. Yeah,
That's a good
you
point.
have a lifetime percentage of Nick's donations. So
I'll take it.
it's a pyramid scheme. Nick is in your downline.
Yeah, right.
Sincerely, man. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will be thinking of you.
We're sending you good energy, Jake. Okay, buddy?
All right, thank y'all.
All right, dude. Knock him dead. Let's, by the way, you heard what Jake did there. Great pivot.
Love that.
Was calling up to talk job interviews and beverage concerns, pivoted to opossums. So, if you have a story about a run-in with an animal like maybe you found a bird in your backyard that was injured and you nursed it back to health, posted on TikTok and played "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" as the music underneath the video. Whatever. Just tell us about it. 206-414-TBTL, 206-414-8285. All right. Do we start with the box update or the frog update, Andrew?
Do we have a box update? I mean, I guess we have the box in our
we have the
possession
box
now. Yeah. So yesterday on the show, we were talking about this box of technology that I shipped out here to Ohio to help us do this thon that got lost in the mail. It finally arrived several days late and kind of useless for our concerns. At my parents' house, it was 2 nights ago, we got a text message from my dad saying, "I hope this doesn't make things worse," with a photo of a box that was absolutely
destroyed,
brutalized. Like, I don't even understand how a box could be so brutalized in the United States postal system. But yesterday we needed some tech out of that box for Frog Cam. More on that in a second. So we swung by my parents' house very, very briefly yesterday. My dad gave me this box. I did accuse him of damaging the box for dramatic purposes. He denies it.
Honestly, not the worst idea from Bob Walsh.
I mean, honestly, he's a content creator.
Guy gets it.
He gets it. And it is blown out. 2 sides totally gone. But all of the contents, including the Hackis Sackus, are still in there.
Yeah, we've got the hacky sacks. Those were in there. They are they're safe. They were not damaged. They're currently in the back of our rental car.
Yep.
So which puts us in a weird spot because, first of all, the delay in the shipping of the package was what made it eventually unuseful to us, not useful for us, which is the equipment got here too late. You had to buy other stuff. You had to bring things.
Yeah, we did get it yesterday because I said we wanted it for Frog Cam, but we already bought other equipment that, like I bought a new webcam that is still in the box over there. John lugged his really old iMac here that we were going to use for the
and it's
setup.
A desktop. That's the crazy. It's that kind where the back of it's clear, so you can't hide contraband in there.
Exactly. But so I was like, well, it'll be just easier to use the stuff that I'm familiar with, so we swung by my parents' house. But essentially, we replaced all the stuff we needed in this box for this thon. So we're shipping costs to get it out here, plus the replacement parts. We're already well into this financially.
But the thing is now, what exactly is what's our spiel
complaint
to the USPS is that you mailed the box too late and the box was destroyed, although the contents were actually weirdly fine.
Yes.
I feel like this is clouding. I'm not saying we made a mistake. We needed that computer. We need Frog Cam to work. But I feel like our best case would have been to show up at the post office with the box, all busted up with the stuff inside of it.
I took a lot more photos. My dad sent me some.
Those could be AI.
I took video of the thing.
Okay.
Of course, you can see that I have 7 fingers on my hand while I'm spinning it.
You're
in the
holding
video.
a newspaper, which clearly proves that you are alive.
Right, but the headline says something about Superman.
Yeah.
So that's that's where things get a little bit funky.
I'm wondering like where we're at with it. I think we should still call your guy in what was he in Westlake?
Yeah.
We need
Kevin.
to call them. We need to see if Kevin in Westlake can get us, I don't know, some relief. We need to at least be able to ship this back for free at a minimum.
I need to feel seen and heard, if nothing else.
Yes. So that's the latest on the box. Now the latest on another box, which is a clear plastic box with many, many air holes cut into it that has water. It has some nice rocks to climb up on. It's got all kinds of mealworms and grubs.
Mealworms. I was trying to remember what the food is. Yeah.
And it's got not 1, not 2, but 3 very, very handsome frogs sitting in there right now. Frogs that we went out.
Oh, John, I was just pointing out of excitement. You don't have to go live quite yet, but we might be getting there.
Because what happened was last night at about, 9 or so when it was getting dark, we met up with our friend Dave, who is one of the many Daves that have helped us out here in Valley City.
These are the Daves I know.
These are the Daves. That's my best Natalie Merchant impression. One of the many Daves in our life here in Valley City came and met us at a barbecue joint and then led us out to a farm. You heard the tape at the beginning. That was Andrew riding along with Dave R. in his truck out to this farm where there was all kinds of livestock and crops and things, but also a big pond full of frogs where we got out there and we had this special net that Dave has modified for catching the frogs. We had flashlights so as to stun the frogs, and by that I mean just sort of get them to where they are kind of compliant. They're not jumping around. I will tell you this. I didn't see any evidence that the flashlights worked. I was shining that flashlight at any frog we saw, and they seemed perfectly happy to jump away from us.
Well, he did say, this is where I was wrong. My whole life I heard that the flashlights freeze the frogs, so I assume it just froze the frogs as long as you kept the light on them. But Dave said it freezes them for a second, and then they go.
The problem is you see the frog, they're over, they're 20 feet away on the shore of the pond. You hit them with the light. If they're frozen for a second, you're still 30 seconds away from getting to them. So I was struck by actually how challenging the catching of the frogs turned out to be. Now, Dave was also telling us that these are farm frogs. They're skittish. He thinks that the golf course frogs.
Yeah, because they're used to people and noise and balls splashing in the water.
So these we had a which, by the way, that could really help us out though. That these frogs that we have, these 3 frogs are they're from a farm pond, so they're strong. They're corn fed. They've been raised right. They're not these
with values.
Exactly. They're not these liberal woke big city golf course frogs.
They are not. They're not sipping their lattes.
Precisely.
Queen Anne Hill.
No, we've got some real salt of the earth, real hoppers on our hands. The other thing I was struck by when we...
Edward Hopper would have been a good name for the frogs.
Edward Hopper. It's not too late. We have not officially, as far as the listeners know, locked in on a name yet, but let's be honest, we're leaning in a direction. I was... let's see. I also made the very questionable decision when we got there to the pond to immediately take my shoes and socks off and roll up my pants. And then all that did was expose my ankles and feet and shins to the most bug bites I've ever had in my life. It was... Actually, Andrew, do you have that voicemail clanking around? I think our friend Simeon, our kind of resident frog expert, had called in with some advice about frog catching.
Yeah, you want to take a listen to this?
Which we listened to on the ride home from frog catching. It would have been better information for me to get before the frog catching.
Yes, so here we go. Here we do have a caller on hold. I think I can mute them and bring up my computer here.
Hey there, it's listener Simeon. I'm calling myself the Amphibiton. Hey, it's the Amphibiton. I gave myself a nickname.
Love it.
Calling you. Giving you some tips about proper dressing for frog hunting. I hear you guys talking about shoes and long pants and so on. Yeah, definitely have some good water shoes. Definitely wear long sleeves, long pants, have a bug net Have a head net. Always over prepare for bugs, because if you're under prepared, you're gonna have a bad time.
Your feet are going to be itching,
though,
like they could fall off at any moment.
Get something with permethrin. If you go and look in the bug spray aisle, you're gonna see stuff with DEET. You're gonna see the organic stuff with eucalyptus or whatever, and then you're gonna see something with permethrin. Get something with permethrin and spray that all on your socks and your pant legs and the shoes that you're going to... Well, okay, so this is like, if you're going to be wading, try not to spray it on your water shoes, because it's not really nice, especially when it's fresh to get into water supply. But you can use that for treating your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just follow the instructions. Google it. That'll be easier. I guess Google won't call you and give themselves a nickname on the listener line, but yeah, there's anti-tick options.
Not as of yet.
Power out.
All right, great.
That's our Amphibian.
That sounded like a somewhat defeated power out. Did you notice that?
There was great. Simeon, the Amphibian, I have great news. We did not get any permethrin
in the water.
Because we did not know that was a thing until we were driving home from the frog hunt. And we
didn't have permission to use permethrin.
I was wandering around. You still can't
John.
get permethrin in certain states.
It's true.
In the U.S. I was walking around the pond again with I wasn't going in the water. We were not even really going into the mud. We were Dave had thought of everything. We were standing on the grassy shore or above the shore with the net so that he could flop the net over these frogs. So at no time did I need to be barefoot or have my pants rolled up. And all it meant was that I was just being absolutely devoured by the very bugs that listener Simeon mentioned.
I do feel like adventures like this, you begin from a sartorial standpoint, though.
Yes.
That is kind of your move. Like, how should I, if I want to look the part, what should I be doing here? And you wanted to look like Tom Sawyer.
I kind of did.
Also, big shout out to Gordon, the farm kid who was there, who was helping us with the light. He was also helping Dave go and net the frogs too.
He's really the one who, not to blow up our spot, but they caught the frogs for us. Did you catch the frog?
God,
John?
no.
Well,
I shined a flashlight.
Dave was the one operating the net.
Yeah.
So all we were doing was
he
flashlight
had a bunch
duty.
of nets, but none of us grabbed it. He went to hand me a net, and I said, "No, I can't. I'm holding the microphone."
I was carrying the box.
I thought that was interesting, Andrew, because he tried to hand you the net, and you said, "No, I have the microphone holder," which was true, but the net would have meant that you didn't actually have to put your hand on a frog.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I thought I wanted sound of us out there, and also just I just sort of figured there were a bunch of us. There was Mike, whose farm it was.
Yes.
His kids or grandkids, I don't know the relationship, but some 4-H kids were there.
And
Savannah
and Cheyenne,
yeah.
and then Gordon.
And they had pigs on the farm. It was a decent sized working
First
farm.
11-year-old I've met named Gordon.
Yes, Gordon. I kept calling him Jordan, and I was wrong.
I assume Gordon is a name that they bestow upon you at the age of 39.
Yes.
You have a totally different name, and then at 39, they change your name to Gordon.
I could see Gordy. I could see a young Gordy, maybe. But anyway, so there was a big crew of us, and Dave really took the lead. And I wasn't jumping to the front of the line to take part. So
we noticed.
And you were sort of waiting.
I only did
around.
one loop. I did one loop in my bare feet and my exposed.
And you didn't have a net, did you?
I did not. No, Dave was the net guy.
You had a flashlight?
I had a flashlight, and then after our first loop, we got our first frog, which I thought was the goal. We're going to get a frog.
Too. Yeah.
And then Dave said, "What do you want to get another?" And then I just handed the flashlight to John.
Yeah, and you went inside the car.
I got
and
in the truck,
the doors and scrolled TikTok.
That is not true. I also was on Instagram. I wanted to see how my Facebook running posts were doing at the Stens page. No, I got into the truck to kind of dry / tick check my feet and ankles to put my socks back on and get kind of dressed. And then they were already at the far side of the pond again. And what I realized was, oh my gosh, it really is a cloud of insects out there, an absolute cloud of insects. And you had already given up on the audio recording of it. So you and I just sort of milled about. We sort of loitered by the truck waiting for John and the rest of the crew to come back with 3. Well, now at this point, 2 additional enormous frogs.
I was surprised too. I was like, okay, we got our frog, we're good. But then Dave was like, all right. You said that he said, do you want more? I don't even remember that conversation. I think he was just like, I think once, it's like me and Miller Lights. Like once Dave is in like frog grabbing mode, one is not just going to do it. So he just kind of started circling the pond again. So I went around, I was taking some photos. I was enjoying being on a farm at night. I hadn't done that.
You were
in a long
having
time.
a dangerous run-in with pigs.
Oh my goodness. So one of these kiddos who's really awesome, by the way, she has these pigs, and it's
4-H. They're raising them for 4-H.
How many pigs were there? I'm going to say maybe there six-ish pigs. Yeah, big pigs, right? And some of them were hers. Some of them were the other girls. I don't know if they're sisters or whatever.
I think there's one for each girl, and the girl who does 4-H is going to take it to the Medina
County Fair.
County Fair.
That was the fair that I would go to. I asked them when the demo derby is. That's on Friday, the last night of the fair, if I understand it correctly. I don't know if you guys are able to extend our Airbnb for that, but
by an additional week,
maybe month. It doesn't matter.
Okay. It's demo derby.
What part of demo derby don't you understand? Oh, all of it. But anyway, this is a true story. This seemed like it was literally a scene out of the Pink Panther Returns. So
there's your dog bite.
Exactly. You know the scene I'm talking about. There's these pigs, and they're large, and I have not been around a pig in a long time, and I tend to just be scared of things.
These are big, large. You weren't being like just a scaredy cat.
Exactly.
These things
He's not Spider Pig anymore. He's Harry Plopper.
So but I noticed the girls are petting the pigs over the fence, and the pigs are sticking their snouts sort of through the fence towards me. So I'm letting them smell me a little bit, smell my hand. But I kind of want to pet the pig, so I think I pet one of them, maybe just on their back very briefly. But I kind of wanted permission, so I turned to the girl who's maybe 12 or something like that, and I said, "Is it okay to pet them? Like, is it all right?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." So I reach over the fence and I pet him more. I pet this pig more, and then as I'm petting the pig, she says, "Just be careful. They bite, and they have really sharp teeth." What did you think I was asking for? I wasn't asking if the pigs wanted me to do it. I was asking if your pig bites.
Yes.
And she says,
that
no,
is not my
it's
pig.
not my pig.
Yeah, that's info.
The fact that I'm here today with two hands.
Much like the permethrin, that's information we could have used before the event.
It was so
in
funny.
Simeon's defense, he sent that voicemail in before we were out
No,
there.
I'm blaming Andrew for that one. That's not on our Amphibian. But it was a successful mission in that we do have these three frogs who are, I'm looking at them right now, and I'm going to be honest with you, they look very chill.
Yeah.
They are in, and again, Dave, our friend who's our frog wrangler, it was very touching, and we all commented on this last night, I think, to each other and maybe even to Dave a little bit. But, for somebody who goes out there and catches frogs for this frog jump on Sunday, he also really wants the frogs to be doing okay. He was saying we're going to make sure we want to handle them minimally. We've got them in this special box that he built that's got like a kind of a lid on top of it where you can slide and you can create this opening to put the frogs in, and then you can close it very easily. There's a bunch of air holes. And he also said we're going to put about 1 inch of water in so that the frogs can be, if they would like to be in water, they can. If they don't, we've also put 2 rocks, pretty sizable rocks in there so they can climb up. In fact, right now we've got one of the frogs is in the water chilling. The other is up on a big rock, and the third one is maybe hiding
The other
behind.
one is hiding. The one is always hiding behind that big rock, unfortunately. I think he's camera shy.
It's it takes all kinds, and we've got a shy frog, probably a frog that's very maybe even like a what was it with the WB frog, but his real name is J. It's like Michigan J frog.
Yeah, that's close. Yeah.
We got a hello my baby, hello my darling frog. We got one that's kind of in the middle, and then one that's sort of hiding from the camera. But so we've got these 3 frogs now, and of course we have been in the lead up to this talking about what will we name our frog. But now we have 3 frogs. And John, what were some of the suggested frog names that we were working with that we liked?
Yeah, so my favorite one was Erling Hopland, in honor of the big Norwegian.
Who coincidentally brought a taxidermied raccoon back to Norway from America. There's a picture of him getting off the private flight for the Norwegian national team.
Really?
And he's just he's got his bag and he's holding a taxidermied raccoon that I think is peering into an absolute vodka bottle or something.
Really?
Yes, just as an aside.
Well, Happy America. That's his that he's coming back with, right? We of course a big fan favorite, Jackie Jorp Jump.
Yes, that's a good one.
One we really love from Cheryl out in Corvallis, Mr. Frog Dabalina.
Oh, Mr. Dabalina, yeah.
What else we have?
Famous Beatles song.
Lisa, Leap Day William.
Oh, Leap Day William.
Dua Leaper.
By the way, I think he's maybe holding a tequila bottle. Take a look. Get some eyes on that.
Oh, I did see this flash by my social media
feed. I think the raccoon is holding a Sauza bottle for some reason.
Yeah, that's how he's going to remember the U.S.
Yeah.
Could that be the show pick?
No, I have photos of frogs.
Oh, that's more appropriate. What else do we have? There's a few other going. Spark Plug, Mr. Ribbits. And then one I also really love, not your Becca, a different Becca Luke, sent in Pre-Frogtane.
Pre-Frogtane is really good. Those are all solid names.
Really good names.
We see what the frogs think. We actually have a microphone. We got the camera that Andrew set up. Then we got a microphone in there with our 3 frogs, just to see what their energy is and to see what did you guys think of those suggested names. Any of those resonate? Any of those feel like they make sense for you? Oh God, they're doing this again.
Classic.
We get it, guys. It's a little on brand.
Yeah.
Then there's the guy hiding behind the rock who doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, it's annoying. Yeah, we don't like that guy very much. So we have been thinking, we've been in quiet meditation and reflection on the topic of what we were going to name our frogs. Now that we have 3 frogs, when we thought we were going to have 1 frog, and we've decided to name our frogs in honor of the part of the world we're in. And because there's not enough of them, our frogs are named Dave.
Dave.
That's right. All 3 frogs are named Dave.
That's right.
It makes it easier. It pumps some much-needed Dave names into the local economy here in Valley City. Another thing that Dave the Frog Catcher mentioned was he is going to come in and he's going to be checking on our frogs throughout the week. And if any of them seem a bit listless, a bit lethargic, we will take them and we will return them to their pond, and we will maybe grab a different frog.
Yes, exactly. I love Dave is sincerely looking out for the care of these frogs. It's funny. Dave is he's both very sincere about the care of the frogs, but also tries to sort of, I don't know, like kind of cut that with a little bit of humor. Like I was asking him, I'm like, well, what about their sort of circadian rhythms? Do we have to worry about lighting or whatever? And he's like, no, they're frogs. They have tiny brains. But also, he's the one who's saying, hey, listen, I'm going to come in here and check on them every day. And if they do start to look a little listless, we will take them back outside, get them into a pond as soon as possible, bring another frog in that I'm assuming we'll name Dave.
Probably.
And so we're definitely like kind of looking out for these guys.
Yeah. We have their peace of mind. I mean, I was very last night annoyingly worried about their circadian rhythms. We did not want to leave the lights on in here because we're going to have Frog Cam, which will be going 24 hours a day. But we're trying to figure out how can we make it so that the frogs, you could see them on camera at night, but that they're not having their sleep cycle ruined.
Yeah.
They're not used to fluorescent light. They're used to being outside. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. This is the biorhythms of their day, and we don't want to mess with that.
Yes.
So we're being very, very careful with our Daves, and these may be the Daves that we have all the way through Sunday. We may trade them out for other Daves. And I guess we also have to figure out at some point which Dave we want to enter in the competition.
Assuming that these are the Daves that last with us for the full week and that we're not taking any back out to the pond, I think we've identified it. Me and Dave had a little confab without you guys, a little sidebar.
You and
Dave
Dave R. Human Dave.
Me and one of the human Daves had a conversation about the frog Daves, and there's one frog in there that is larger than the others, and that would definitely and significantly so. I think.
Big Dave?
Big Dave. Yeah, I'm talking about Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Big Dave, ironically, is the small one.
Can I raise a concern about Sunday?
Big one we call Tiny.
A real concern I have about Sundays, we went out to the pond last night. It was great. We hung out with Human Dave. It was a real fun time, and we brought back our 3 Daves here. Human Dave was mentioning that they get a bunch of the frogs for the jump from a hatchery, and he said they're 3 to 4 times the size of our frogs.
Wait, I didn't realize that they get them from a hatchery. I didn't know that.
He did.
Are we getting kind of screwed?
I'm not sure. By the way, it's not all about size.
I think it is with this.
Is it?
I think with that.
I mean, that's
the
like
bigger
spirit.
But they have to move. A larger frog has to move more frog weight as well.
Yeah, so I think actually Simeon noted You want it to be
Our
big and
amphibian?
strong. Or excuse me, our amphibian mentioned. You want them to be big and strong, like, but not. I don't know the exact word he used. I'm going to say frumpy, but that's not the word he
Well,
used.
last night, Dave, Human Dave, kept saying, "Oh, they got some real pigs," and he didn't mean pigs; he
Right.
meant frogs.
Yes,
he was using the term pig as a way of describing a super large frog.
Which was confusing to me because I was being attacked by pigs.
There's apparently
named frog.
There's apparently a family in the area, and I believe they're called the Bacco family.
Yeah.
Or the Bracco family.
Oh, the boys.
This is the boys. This is a multi-generation frog capture operation where they go out, they get a bunch of frogs, they bring, because this is how the frog jump works. First of all, it sells out immediately, I've been told. So people just show up on Sunday. Some of them, in fact, many of them have brought their own frogs to enter in the frog jump. There are also people that show up sans frog, without frog, to our non-French speakers. And those people can rent a frog. You can basically, for I think it's $7, so it's $8 to enter the frog jump. It's $7 if you're gonna rent a frog. You can rent a frog from them that have been captured by these people that do this as a volunteer thing, and then you can enter that as your frog jump. If you win your round, it's called a flight, then you get a little trophy and you move on to the next one, and then you go on to face all the other winners of the other rounds. But there are a lot of frogs that are brought in for this, and it's a fair question. I don't know how our frogs compare to the other frogs.
I don't know. And you started to talk about this, and I don't know. I asked Dave if he's been Dave. If he's been watching any of these broadcasts, and I think he said no. He didn't apologize for it either. But I don't know if he might be checking in today because of our adventures last night. Dave, if you happen to be in the building and are watching this, can you come in here? What were he was talking about the Brackish boys or something like that?
Well, no, that's the family.
Yeah. But
he called them the boys, but he said they're my age.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
That was why it was confusing.
He said I call them the boys, but I think they're in their 60s.
I think it's them, maybe their children who are grown, and then their grandchildren. It's a whole opera. He said they bring in something like, what is it, 70 frogs
and
or something?
And they're real characters, it sounds like.
person?
They dress in capes sometimes. I don't know.
They
I'm
put
messing
their
up
frog
the
in a
story.
cape one year, which didn't seem to help.
Dave, if you are in the building, come in here and explain this to us.
So that's where we stand. Should we, all this talk about our frogs, about our Daves, should we go live with the Dave
but
cam?
Nobody knows where the Dave cam is, so I need to set this up for folks. If you are interested in watching our frogs live, especially now, as we open up the live stream for the very first time, just simply go to tbtl.net.
Over there, John.
You'll see
Time to
two
do it.
videos right at the top of tbtl.net. One of them is streaming us live right now. But you've probably already found that if you can hear me right now. The other YouTube video, that one is TBTL Frog Cam, and it's labeled as such. So go to tbtl.net if you want to see us. Open up the Frog Cam, go live for the very first time.
Dave.
It's
the Daves are live.
I'm watching it. The
It's happening.
Daves are live. There it is.
There they are.
Pretty good shot of I think that's Big Dave there on the rock. That's close.
Oh, so the small one on the rock.
Great job setting that up, Andrew.
Yeah,
That's
unfortunately, there is the third guy is camera shy, clearly hiding behind that.
You know
that
what?
rock, but that's okay.
That might
It's
be his process.
journey.
That might be how he gets psyched up for the big competition.
That would be me.
I mean, that's a dark horse kind of candidate, but you get the kind of quiet, camera shy frog that you don't know a lot about, but who might just have like the heart of a champion.
Yeah. So, there you go. You're also seeing a little behind the scenes. You can sort of see the other tripod in the background there if you want to see how the frogage is made.
We're not making any frogage. I want to be really clear about that. If you want to check out our Daves, they are live, tbtl.net, and you can see them. And again, we are going to be we'll be monitoring them, we'll be feeding them, we'll be making sure they're doing okay, and then I guess on Sunday we'll be seeing how they do. Maybe because we're kind of like filming this for CBS, I don't know. Are we going out as a threesome to exhort our frog to jump its furthest? What's our team strategy? Because we're supposed to, and you guys have seen pictures, right? It looks like a big target on the ground, and you're standing in the middle of it, I believe.
Parachute, I believe.
And it's got got a circle in the middle, and then it's circles ringing out because I think it's like how far did your frog leap? You see people out there down on their hands and knees kind of trying to encourage the frog or whatever. It's going to be the three of us, right, out there?
I mean, that was the original plan. I guess
I'm into that.
There are supposedly rules where it's supposed to be one person, but Dave specifically said it's there. We're here for
Human
a good
Dave.
time. Human Dave was saying
Not a
that.
long time.
No, but he said that like if a couple of kids show up and they want to do it together, great, do it together. Like we're not going to be sticklers for the rules. We're just here to have a good time. So all three of us could do it. That's fine. I'm going to be honest about something here. I've been telling you guys I kind of don't want to touch the frogs. I've been saying that for weeks now, and I love our frogs. I
would die for our frogs.
I'm already attached to them. I would die for each one of those Daves. I would die for the human Daves too.
Lucy, who? You don't even remember your actual pets back home. That's how locked in you are on the Daves.
We have a froggy play date later on today with some more neighborhood frogs. But I will say I took some photos of you holding the frog yesterday, Luke. I'm going to maybe make that the show pick. I saw everybody not everybody was handling it, but those who were capturing the frogs and then handling it, I thought, yeah, I can't do that.
So that
I can't do that. And even when I look into the frog, into our little frog terrarium over there, and I look at them, they kind of give me. I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't. Not a bad feeling. Not a bad feeling. But I am glad that there is a barrier between us, and I don't know why. Love from a distance.
I did pick up one of our frogs last night, very gently. It was kind of slimy, but not that bad actually. Yeah. And so, if the frog needs to be carried on Sunday, I'm happy to do that. I don't know how that works exactly. Like if we bring the terrarium out and then just put him down, or how far. Between the terrarium and the starting line we're going to be. But I'm happy to handle the frog. I feel comfortable. I did it last night. It went okay.
Are you going to get one of those Bjorns? Can we get a frog Bjorn for you so you can
I'll
wear
swaddle it. I'm going to definitely swaddle
Dave
it
on the front of your
chest.
chest.
I'm going to be here tonight doing that just so we bond. And so
good.
we're in alignment on things.
I did not handle one last night, but I would, if you need to hand it to someone for a moment, Luke, I would not be uncomfortable.
In fact, you were trying to impress the farm kids by talking about your childhood in the Catskills.
Yeah.
Chasing tadpoles.
I'm a suburban kid, and I pretend to know about nature. And I was like, we used to try to get salamanders and tadpoles because I didn't want the 12-year-olds to think I wasn't cool or I felt uncomfortable on the farm.
I love that one of the kids said she sort of had a moment where I didn't see what was happening, but I heard a little commotion and then raucous laughter from one corner of the pond at one point. And it turns out the story was she wanted to get in on the frog catching action, but also, like me, was a little squeamish. She's like, I didn't want to touch the frog. So she had on like kind of a classic, mesh back baseball cap, like trucker style cap. So she took off her hat and was trying to catch a frog using her hat, but then somehow I think slipped and like fell in the mud, and then everybody apparently was laughing at her. And it's like, is there any more classic Americana than this kid trying to catch a frog in her hat?
No, and then falling down, and then, and by the way, laughing herself, and then her friend or sister or whatever laughing with her. They were having again, give them a couple of slingshots.
It was so fun last
their back
night.
pocket.
I really love those kids.
Yeah, it was right out of Americana Central Casting. So that's the latest on our frogs. We have our Daves. Like I said, we'll be watching them, and we'll make the decision as to which Dave to enter in the contest as we get closer to Sunday. But you can go to tbtl.net right now and check in on them live, see how they're doing, all of that stuff.
Let me say one more thing, too. Because the frog cam, there's a link to it, and like I said, it's embedded at tbtl.net, but when you click on that, it can take you straight through to the YouTube page for the frog cam. And, of course, just like this, you can chat in there, too. And since it's a 24-hour frog cam, if you guys wake up at midnight tonight and you're like, you know what? I want to see if there's anything doing on the frog cam. Maybe I got some other 10s who are peeping right now. You guys can just chat whenever you want, 24/7. You now have an open 24/7 chat line with the TBTL community.
Amazing. And that community is something that we talk about a lot.
Thank you for being a 10.
Because here we are in Valley City, Ohio, with 3 frogs.
And a dream.
In Andrew's old elementary school. And you would think that would mean that we, the 3 of us and the frogs, we are the centerpiece of the show. And in fact, the reason this show exists, and what's interesting about it, is all the people that are watching us right now and listening to this in the coming days. It's you, the tens of listeners, like the way that you show up for each other, the way that you like to chat in the middle of the night via the frog cam, the way that you have, again, taken care of each other when folks needed a helping hand or some encouragement or you name it. The community of TBTL listeners is the real secret sauce of this whole thing and the kind of inexplicable part. And so we are taking that week that we do each year to remind folks in that community that this can only happen through donations and your support. And we've got a lot of folks who've been supporting us over the years who are continuing to do that, and we are incredibly grateful. Also, some new folks signing up as well. John, what are we offering people as our thank you gifts this year?
Yeah, we really haven't talked a ton about them. We brought it up on Monday, but first of all, anyone who donates at any level, if you're giving $5 a month or $100 a month or whatever it is, or your firstborn child,
we actually don't have an intake for that. So.
Oh, right. There was a whole thing with the government. And
CPS, I believe, was involved.
CPS. CPS.
Yes. The one Barry Weiss is not running currently.
That's
we
right.
know of.
That's more appropriate. So everyone who donates gets two things, actually. You get a magnet, which is a replica of the pod cart delivery magnet, or the contest delivery.
Have I told you? Content delivery. That's what we had. Yeah. We had the van, the Delica. We were driving around to people's driveways because this was during the pandemic, and we were delivering the podcast to them by doing the podcast in their front yard or driveway. And we had these magnets that said podcast delivery service or something, and they're actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
That I think the people at the Fast Sign in Portland in Slabtown, I don't know if they're listening, but we're definitely back on their radar now. Because we were trying to find where is the digital file of this magnet, or these big magnets that we had.
Because it's a specific font, really.
Yes, it's almost like what they thought the future was going to look like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it looks sort of like reminds me of sort of Futurama delivery font, sort of. Yeah.
And so we couldn't find the art for it, and so I called up the Fast Signs where we got the magnets made years ago. They were so helpful. And the guy was like, Luke Burbank? Okay. And he's like, finds the thing, finds the file, sends it to me, still had all of the information years later. Yeah. It was like incredible. I just got an email from them today going like, hey, make sure to keep Fast Signs. Because I was explaining to the guy on the phone, I was like, I know he goes, does it say podcast delivery? And I was like, it does actually, because we do a podcast, and I was giving him the story on how we were driving the podcast around to people back then. I think he was 5% intrigued. So anyway, they sent us the file. We're making the magnets, but I think that now, I don't know if they're listening, but I think that they're aware that we are a podcast, and they're interested in staying in business with us.
Do you think they could be watching right now? They could be listening. Hi, Fast Signs.
And with all due respect to Walter Burbank, are Fast Signs, are they now our official sign maker?
For certain things.
Okay.
For certain things. And the thing, it's a we have a lot of sign needs for a variety of different things. By the way,
for a podcast, we oddly
shout out to Gary at Fast Signs. I got the email, bro. For something like that, something quick and dirty, Fast Signs is your place. You want something sandblasted, John? You want something gold leafed?
Sure.
Walt's your guy.
Okay, good.
You want marine lettering? Sure, your
I
boat.
do want marine lettering.
Do you need some van, some lettering on your van? Are you a major grocery concern that would like people driving on the freeway to know how much further to get to your Safeway? Walt's your guy.
What about what if I'm a minor grocery concern?
That's a Fast Signs thing.
That's a Fast Sign thing. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. We have a minor grocery concern in our neighborhood, and I'm loving it. And the grocery store is called
Dave's. Exactly.
It's all coming together.
Dave.
That is funny. I did not even think about the grocery store. At some point, I do want to talk on air. This is not the time because we're talking about the thon and what people can get, but I do want to talk about that, Dave's, and the whole self-checkout situation. I don't know if you've run through that yet, Andrew, if you had the same issues that I did.
Yeah, I did not run into the same issues you did, but
well,
we can talk about that at some point.
I did run into the same issue, Luke, and I have the same feelings that you do.
We'll get back to that in a moment. In the meantime, you can, if you donate at any level, you'll get one of these handsome magnets.
A handsome magnet. Plus, you get something that we're doing for the first time, a weekly video version of an episode of TBTL. So the way that works is Monday through Friday, the boys here will do the regular show. And one of those episodes, we're not saying it's a specific one from each week, but one of those episodes will be emailed to you in video form.
Whichever one my skin has cleared up the most for will be the one we will use. Maybe you're watching us right now on YouTube and you're just like, look at those guys. I could look at them once a week for up to 1.5 hours.
Even 10s can tolerate
That's
looking
right.
at us.
Coming your
once a
way this
week.
year. That's right. The video version of one of the episodes from the week.
So we're really excited about that. That's a cool new project that we'll do. And so everyone gets that. Then if you go to the $10 a month level, you get that stuff. Plus you get a 10-pack of the TBTL trading cards, the inside baseball trading cards that we're super excited about. And you can
Very
see,
excited about
You can
these.
see some samples if you go to tbtl.net/donate. There's some samples. We don't want to give it, as you mentioned, Andrew, the other day. We don't want to give them all away because we want the surprise. You get your pack, and we want you to be excited with or let.
I want to make it very clear. They're randomized packs. We have a set of 30 cards, but if you just get one pack of these, there will be 10 in there, but you don't know which 10 you're getting. So you're going to have that opening, that unboxing experience.
Yeah.
And and if you want to get all of the cards, all 30, then what would people do?
That is at the $25 level month.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you get those plus, and then in the middle between those two at 15, you get a pack of 10. Plus, you get the on-air daily donor thanks from Luke and
yes.
Andrew, so you get that as well. And
I
then-
will say that the photo we're using at tbtl.net from the playing cards, the trading cards, I should say, we've got one of me and one of Andrew. I look a little bit like if Gavin Newsom went feral. It's like Gavin Newsom has a scandal. He leaves politics, and we find him living in a cabin somewhere. It's still Newsom.
Is it the one with you and Bubbles? Is that what we're looking?
No, I'm smiling at it. I don't.
the one. That's the on-air thanks little art. Yeah. That's nice.
It's good. I'll take it. I've been called a Timu Gavin Newsom before, and I'll
really.
Yeah, I was somewhere in a suit, and someone said you kind of look a little bit like Gavin Newsom, which I took as a high compliment.
Sure. Okay. So then that's 15. 25 gets you the on your thanks plus the entire collection of cards, all 30 cards. And then if you bump up to the $35 level a month, you get all that plus you get the Frog Jump Champion, which may or may not be presumptuous that we're going to be champions.
Oh, it is presumptuous, but
but it's also accurate.
No, it's all about confidence.
It's all about confidence. So you get the awesome shirt that was designed
by our friend Spring. It's if I can just for people that aren't looking at it right now, it's somehow like sort of 90s in the best way, like with the way that the graphics are. It's a really lovely green color. It says TBTL. It's got, I believe, the state of Ohio is represented there. So it's TBTL over the state of Ohio. It says Frog Jump Championship, and then we've got one of the Daves jumping on the T-shirt.
Frog Dave, not Human Dave. Although can we get Human Dave on there too?
I think it's right at the absolute maximum busyness. I think
I just want to
throwing
confirm.
a Human Dave on there at this point.
Human Dave leaping like that frog.
So yeah, the T-shirt is people are already getting really excited about the T-shirt this year, and unlike the hot dog shirt, it will not in any way look weird.
Yeah.
Depending on whatever's going on with you. So it's a great shirt. People are going to be excited
So
to
we're
get
really
it.
excited for that. And then level after that's the Dazzling Donors to get all the thank you gifts. Plus you get your personalized message on air, which may or may not feel like homework. You're not obligated to do it, but we'd love
If you got
to
a
hear.
business and you're looking to promote it, it's a great tax write-off. You
Absolutely.
could turn.
Well,
we're not a
can we-
501c3.
I'd say talk to your accountant. We can't definitively talk about tax write-offs.
I would say don't. Talk to your accountant. I would just say just trust it. I'd say go with the flow.
Okay. Yeah.
What I would say is we are not a nonprofit. We are
That's
not
true.
a 501c3. But if you have a business expense for your business, work that out with your accountant.
Yeah.
And your God.
And or your frog.
And here's what I would say: they're defunding the IRS left and right.
Yeah.
If there's a time to risk it, it's right now. And that's something John told me to say right before the show.
I heard it.
John specifically asked me to frame it that way.
And I told you about my buddy John. We worked at a telemarketing firm together, right? And
was that Town and Country?
It was called EBSCO. Well, I probably should. It was called EBSCO, I want to say, EBSCO Telemarketing Services, and we did call on behalf of all kinds of magazines to get people to renew their subscriptions, but in many cases, those subscriptions were very long expired. It'd be like, Town and Country magazine, I subscribed to it 5 years ago, forgot about it, but now it's 1995 or whatever, and I'm getting this phone call from Kent, Ohio, right? And somebody's saying, hey, would you like to renew your Field and Stream? And you're like, I don't even remember I had a Field and Stream, but then you talk them into like renewing it anyway. That was my job, get people to sign up. But then we had a confirmation part where people had to call back, this is good, right? Legally, you had to call back and say, hey, you received a phone call from us yesterday. You said that you did want to sign up for this. We want to confirm that this is all legit. So that like somebody like me isn't just signing somebody up and then they change their mind or they maybe I didn't follow the rules or whatever. Yeah. So my friend was in the confirmation business. His name was John. He would call up. He's making the final thing. He's getting the financial information. He's closing the deal. He's confirming the deal and everything. But then sometimes he would just tell them if they were a little bit on the fence. He was just kind of like, well, just confirm it now and then just cancel it right away. And you'll still get the magazine, and they won't even charge your card. He's giving them ideas about how to scam basically the company he's working for.
That's actually a perfect segue into something that I wanted to talk about, which is...
Are you scamming TBTL?
No, but we have, folks who support TBTL can do it in a sort of number of different ways. A lot of people go on like a monthly donation where, you're donating X number of dollars a month, whatever feels right to you. Other folks will just give a kind of a one-time lump sum donation. And one thing that we've noticed is that, as sort of based on previous thons, the one-time donations, that kind of, that group of folks, let's just say those donations as of it's Wednesday let's say it's lagging a little bit behind some of the other years. And we were kind of wondering why that is. And it's like, well, I know why it is. It's because the economy is kind of an unknown thing right now. Some people are doing great, others aren't. Some people are doing great, but wonder if they will. And maybe the idea of kind of signing on for an entire year right now could be a little daunting to someone. So if you would rather just jump in on a monthly donation and then just, if it doesn't work for you, stop doing the monthly. We won't even bill you for Town and Country or Field and Stream. Like if you're somebody who's been figuratively just writing us a check in years past for the whole year, and that's something that's just kind of maybe something you're a little stuck on because it feels like a chunk of money, just kick in a monthly something, and then as soon as that doesn't feel right to you, stop kicking in the monthly something.
Exactly. And listen, everybody is on their own financial journey, right? And so here we are asking maybe some people to maybe give a little bit more if you like the gifts or whatever. But now I'm going to do something what is called an anti-fundraising message, which is why they don't let me work in public radio anymore. But I also...
John, we need you to leave for this part.
Yeah, we hit on this a little bit yesterday, too, which is like... This is TBTL. We're a community. We really appreciate the fact that it's you guys who are keeping us on the air, on the internet, keeping this whole community together.
Keeping the Daves fed.
And so what I would rather have, I do not want anybody giving more than they are comfortable with. Like if you feel a little bit uncomfortable about it and be like, I just can't, but I really want to support the boys. You are supporting the boys. You have supported the boys, and you will support the boys again, and we really appreciate it. But the worst outcome is that we have anybody listening who is feeling guilt or stress about this. That ain't how it works. We have some folks who can give more than others, and that's what it's all about, and that's what community is about. And we see people, their situations change, their donation levels change. Sometimes you just have to bow out altogether. Maybe you don't have a job right now, and so we are looking for people who are in good positions to maybe help out the people who aren't, and to help out us, and we really appreciate it.
Maybe you're going to get a job tomorrow at a large beverage concern.
That's right.
Immediately start donating. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah. And I will stress, as somebody who's also an anxious person myself, Andrew, like the amount of emails I get just throughout the year of somebody being like, hey, I got to pause my gift or reduce my monthly gift, that, this situation changed. And the amount of apologies that come with that, please. Like you guys, it's obviously like, the support of the Tens makes this possible, and we really couldn't do the show without the community support. But on the individual level, like, nobody needs to feel bad if they can't give, or if it's not, whatever it is, whatever your personal situation is. We're just grateful you're there watching or listening to the show, and for those who can give, please make a gift, that kind of thing.
This is TBTL.
Yeah.
You should feel bad about the things I'm saying, and not your donation level. It is built. This is the model.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
but if you are, let me just say the last thing before we jump to our top story, before we do a little kind of
one other quick little thing, but go on, please.
Okay. Well, why don't you do that?
There was a question about the magnets came up in the chat. They're 3x5 magnets. It's just,
okay.
So if that impacts your decision to donate,
3 foot by 5 foot.
Yes.
You're going to need
3 yards by 5 yards.
You need, so this is for people with industrial refrigerators.
Yes.
If you're working in an institution somewhere, this is the perfect magnet for your fridge.
Thank you for clarifying.
I was just going to say, another thing is, if you're somebody who has been kind of listening to the show for years and years, and you have been considering donating, just jump in at $5 a month or something. You know, if you haven't ever done it before, again, because of all the previous things, which is that maybe this will offset somebody else who's not able to do it. And also you can cancel at any time and you don't have to send John an apology email.
Yes.
So if you've been on the fence.
You don't have to send your Field and Stream magazines back to us if you cancel.
Honestly, at this point, you can keep them. We don't have anything to do with them. So, yeah, like if you've kind of been like, maybe I'll help out one year. This would be a good year, is what I'm saying. Because of all of the unknowns out there, this might be the year for you to jump in, even at whatever, you know, a one-time $5 gift. Enough of those really does sort of add up. So, again, thank you to everybody who's gotten us this far and who is making TBTL happen. All these 4,771 episodes into this.
Hello and welcome to Top Story.
All right, at the beginning of this week, I knew we were going to be talking about frogs because we're here at the Valley City Frog Jump. And I knew we were going to be getting a frog that we were going to enter in the contest. And so I needed to grab some audio, frog-related audio. And I was going on the internet looking for frog sound effects. And what I found was, ultimately, I went with, like, this is a frog jumping from a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Perfect.
Because an actual sound of a frog or anybody else jumping doesn't sound like this. This is, I believe, from some other cartoon. Those are cartoon frogs. These are more like animatronic. I ended up on this website where, to me, it's pretty clear that a person, I don't even think this is a computer-generated thing. I think somebody who was probably just creating an entire large library of sound effects decided to try to make a bunch of frog sound effects. But this doesn't sound like someone went out in the field, simian style, and recorded frogs. This sounds like a person in their house was making frog sounds. But what I found interesting about this particular trove of sound effects was and I need you guys to. So
I can't see that
okay,
far.
good. In the interest of fairness, because I have the screen right in front of me, they have attributed emotional states to these ribbits, to these frog sounds. But
you think these are not real frogs. This is somebody imitating
I think
frog
it's somebody imitating a frog
at various levels of
imitating a frog
peak
in some kind of an emotional moment.
Okay.
You know, like, for instance, this isn't in here, but like it could be like cartoon, animal, frog, hungry.
Oh, okay.
So like these are this person has attributed a sort of an emotional state.
Is that an Eastern European accent if they're Hungarian?
No, that's hungry. So here we go.
I can kill the mic over
all right,
here,
that's
too.
-1 for John, which is also a +1 for Andrew.
That's
so
fantastic.
he's leading.
It's what we call a zero-sum game.
All right, here we go. I'm going to play you. So here's what I'm going to play you a sound effect.
My eyes are closed.
Good. It's for concentrate. The listeners if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're home, if you're watching us on a big screen TV, which that is never not mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
I forget that that's a technology that occurs, and then whenever the thon goes on, people, and tonight, by the way, we're doing the Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Sign up at tvtl.net if you haven't yet and you want to join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely
and tag
free.
us on Instagram, your setup, if you're watching the thon.
I am always so surprised when I see that people have us on a television.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel like we're sort of famous, at least in that home environment. So I'm going to play this.
It must be weird for you to be on TV.
I'm going to, I guess you could say, ironically, no one sends me pictures of them watching me on Sunday morning. They do send me pictures of watching us.
They're still getting their film developed.
So I'm going to play this sound effect. It's going to be frog, and I would like you to try to guess what the emotional state of the frog is, as assigned by whoever made this at epidemicsound.com.
Oh, God.
Epidemicsound.com. So here we go.
Rabbit.
Okay, that's Shondatory.
Beagle, baggle, boggle, boogle.
That
Okay,
is so Shondatory.
I'm playing it. Who knows? This could be what Sean's doing in his off time. Here we go. I'm playing it again. This is a frog. What do we think? What is going on with this frog?
Rabbit.
Okay, I have a guess.
Okay.
I think this is a frog that is maybe protecting its territory.
Yeah, I was going to say a frog under duress.
I need more specifics because
I thought I was being
protecting
too
its territory
specific.
and under duress are not emotional states.
Oh, okay. Well,
just think about emotional states.
Defensive.
Scared.
Okay, both wrong. Well, both wrong. It is angry. This is angry frog. Now listen.
Kind of what I went to first. And
Now
then
listen. So that's what I'm saying. Just come up with.
Okay.
So this is
Rabbit. Rabbit. Rabbit.
Yeah, he's angry.
He's angry at the end, I
because
believe.
because we're in his territory. I'm taking the point there.
No,
that's a -1 for Andrew and a +1 for John, which brings them both to 0.
Thank you.
How does John get a +1 on that?
You know what? I rule with an iron whim. Okay, so that was Angry Frog. Now I'm going to play you another one. What do you think this frog is feeling?
Rabbit. Rabbit. Rabbit.
Oh, that is a horny frog. That frog is amorous on Maine, as I like to say.
Do you agree, John?
Yeah, that's exactly.
That is a flirty frog. You both get 2 points, which means it's 2-2. That is 2 points.
Oh, man, look at the Daves. They're getting excited over there.
Yeah.
Oh, keeping your pants.
Whoa,
Dave.
one of them is looking right at us.
Literally, one of the Daves has oriented himself towards where we are broadcasting upon hearing this.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Which is especially weird because there's no audio being pumped into the room. So Dave, how is Dave going to hear that?
Senses it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's nice to have a pet that actually wants to be involved in the podcast for a change.
All right, here we go. You're right. That was flirty.
Yeah, it was.
Flirty frog. Now, what do we think is going on with this frog?
Rabbit. 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 Rabbit.
What is happening
Can
with
I
that
guess?
frog? John?
They are confused. That's not.
I need to hear it again.
Here we go. Play it one more time.
Rabbit. 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 Rabbit.
Yeah, it does. It's inquisitive. It's asking a question. I don't want to just take what John is saying, but
Imagine.
I think that they're. I do think they're. You said confused, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to just steal your thunder.
It's not confused.
It's inquisitive.
It's more like
curious.
This is going to give it away. Imagine it was this frog's birthday, and it thought it was not having a birthday party.
It's depressed.
Surprised. Surprised. You would be depressed if we made you have a birthday party.
True. Yeah.
This is surprised frog.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Yeah. Okay.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Okay.
I just
moving on.
love
No
that
points.
somebody was.
I know.
This game is great.
You told me about this game a couple of days ago, but I thought it was like somebody in the field collected frog sounds. I didn't realize there was Sean Dettori in his kitchen.
Yes. And I don't think this person even understands how funny this is. They were just trying to give you the full range of frog ribbits you might need, but then they decided to try to do an impression of a frog that's having a very human kind of experience, which cracked me up. Okay, here's another one. What do you think is going on with this frog?
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Oh no.
Rabbit.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
That frog's depressed. It's sad.
I'll just try to give a different answer, but I kind of agree. I'd say that frog is feeling a sense of loss. It's
less. Well, here's the thing. What this emotion is, or what this kind of way of being is, can be an outgrowth of maybe feeling sad or depressed, but it's not that it's sad. I mean, one of the things that my therapists have said over the years is that we tend to convert fear and sadness into something else because we
eating too many fig Newtons in the middle of the night.
Sometimes that, but because it's less scary to be kind of a little this than to be actually the sadness that you might be feeling.
Angry.
Yes, but what is angry? But you just didn't have enough coffee yet.
What is angry, but you irritate?
Turn down the anger,
and
turn it into more just kind of not loving life, and let's
malaise. I mean,
don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. You are in the morning. You could be a little, not you, but a person could be a little grumpy.
Oh,
Rabbit.
Thank you for all the hints.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Okay.
Rabbit.
It was a dwarf. That's not sneezy. That's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Grumpy. Grumpy. Do we hear it?
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
I think some of the other ones are better, but yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, not sad.
He's trying to be short. I feel like he's trying to be kind of he's doing that grumpy thing where he's just
yeah.
"All right, what's going on? Nothing.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Here,
Are you sure it's fine? I'm fine, except you keep asking me why I'm fine.
It's Monday morning. We just got to the office.
Exactly.
It's Monday morning after a holiday weekend.
Yeah,
actually,
long
too. It was a
weekend.
long weekend, and I just say, "Hey, Dave, how was your weekend?"
Rabbit. Rabbit. Rabbit.
Okay.
Rabbit.
Maybe we don't have to have
Rabbit.
this conversation
Rabbit.
right now, Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll catch you after lunch.
Okay. Let's see here. Here's another one. Now, well, actually, I'm just going to tell you this one because you've already just guessed this on the previous one. This is allegedly a sad frog.
Okay.
But what I'm going to be curious to hear is how that's different than a grumpy frog.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So let's hear sad frog, cartoon, animal, frog, sad.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Oh, I knew it was going to
Rabbit.
make me sad.
That is sad.
Rabbit.
Oh, my little buddy. Oh, it's all right.
Poor Dave.
You can talk to us about anything.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get the nose up on. Well, I'll throw this one at you. I also feel like it's unfair to ask you to guess at this because, how do you guess at something that has no characteristic? This is described as neutral.
Oh, okay.
This is a cartoon animal frog. Neutral. This is a neutral frog.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
This is a frog being a frog.
I guess that's just regular
And
frog,
it
no
is
emotion.
neutral in the sense that's in between the sad and the horny.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, this frog also sounds like it's being kind of withholding.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Fine.
Yeah.
How was your day? Fine.
I mean, neutral. Listen, as we all know, there is a version of neutral that still lets you know that they're kind of mad.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the kind of neutral it is. Then
That's passive aggressive.
let's round things out with let's round things out with a frog who's feeling a certain kind of way. I'm going to play the sound effect for you. Let's see if we can guess what this.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
That is the sound of a what frog?
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Hungry.
Hungry is not on the list.
Oh. Hangry.
Oh, it's hangry.
Should have had a Snickers. Oh, turns out.
Oh, what? That wasn't Danny DeVito back there.
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
worried?
Rabbit, rabbit,
What is
rabbit.
that,
Is
John?
worried?
It is, in the immortal words of Pharrell Williams, happy.
No.
This is a happy frog.
No.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Just doing its own thing.
A happy frog. I think
don't buy
the
that.
hit, of course, of the whole contest was
Rabbit,
Oh, don't do that. Yeah.
rabbit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to save that
I have
forever. That has
Do those
entered the canon, my
do
friend.
those legs go all the way down?
Oh, no.
Rabbit.
Is there a Mrs.
Rabbit.
Dave?
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's going to get us the explicit label, won't it?
That's how you play Name That Frog's Emotions. Thanks, guys, for playing
that.
along.
Fun.
I love that.
A couple of, let's see, quick things before we wrap things up today. Some thoughts on Ohio City, which I've been enjoying the living tweedle out of.
Me too. I told you guys, I mean, as far as like walkability and vibrance, this is literally one of the best Airbnb situations I think we've ever had on one of these thons. I'm loving it.
I love our Airbnb, honestly. It's an older house, but I think they've done a really nice job of kind of remodeling it and appointing it. So it's got lots of comfy places to sit. I think our bedrooms are all sort of nice and working out. I also
Got a raccoon
love,
in the house.
We've got a pet raccoon. There's a pool table. I love that. I don't know what's going on in your guys' showers, but the shower that I've been using, I love that they have a body wash that has the radical honesty to call itself what it is. Have you guys noticed?
I
the
think
3-in-1?
3-in-1. It's like it does it all.
Because it's always been the same thing.
Yeah.
You've always been here. This farce, this game we play where you have 3 bottles in the shower of the hotel or whatever, and they all appear to be, well, at least 2 of the 3. The conditioner is noticeably different. The shampoo and the body wash are the same thing. And we've been bamboozled into treating them like they're different things, and they're not. And this is just, it says, you know what this is? It's a big old jug of soapy stuff.
Yeah, it's going to suds.
It says it's a shampoo, it's a body wash, and it's a bubble bath.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I just appreciate that. Every time I use it, I just feel like I'm living a life of radical truth.
So you didn't bring your own soap? I always try my own. I'm a bar soap
I stopped
guy.
doing that a long time ago, and I don't know why, because I might find myself at an Airbnb that doesn't have the stuff, but because I'm mostly in hotels, I guess I've just like lost that tendency.
Yeah. I'm mad at myself for not bringing it because I like bar soap. I don't really like body wash, and so every time, no, thank you. I appreciate that. That's sweet. Also, I was just reminded by somebody on the chat that we have had a caller on hold for over an hour now.
Oh, no.
All right, fine. You know
that
what?
Person at some point.
Let's bring them on.
Okay, sorry
I'll
about
give
that,
you
but
more
yeah.
of my Ohio City
I
thoughts.
have an
coming
idea
up
of
in a
who it
minute.
is based on the comments.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hi, you are on TBTL.
Ahoy, hoy, business boys. It's your friend Cheryl in Corvallis.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Hey, I'm honestly doing great. I got some great news while I was on hold with you guys.
Well,
so
that's what-
I
that's your-
can't actually.
That's your reward
I
for
can't
staying on
actually
hold
share
for
it.
an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't actually share it because I have to let the people know who it's regarding. But I feel like it was TBTL, good luck to all vibes that made it happen while I was on hold.
Hopefully that was part of why you got the good news, and hopefully for our friend Jake, a similar thing will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but I do have to ask you, Cheryl.
What's up?
I don't know if you can hear that down the line. That was a Budweiser joke. Okay, so you got some good news while on hold. Do you have any small or large animal memories or thoughts that you could share with us here on this Wednesday, since that's the theme, the late-breaking theme of the calls?
Yeah, well, I was remembering when you mentioned, small animals. I had, and I don't know how you all feel about this, especially Luke and John, who, have New York connections or have lived in New York. But I used to have a pet rat.
Oh, really?
I have heard from people, one friend in particular who had pet rats, that they are the best pets. She absolutely loved these little rats and their personalities. What was your experience, Cheryl?
Well, my rat was a big gray rat, and his name was Templeton, like the rat in Charlotte's Web.
Mm-hmm. Was that voiced by Charles Nelson Riley?
I don't know.
I'll look it up while you're talking. Please keep going.
Yeah. Okay. And sorry, just so you know, the line kind of cuts in and out a little bit, so I have to kind of fight to understand you. But the great thing about him was that he would sit on my shoulder while I was doing my household chores. So like I'd be vacuuming, and he'd just be riding on my shoulder with his little ropey tail wrapped around my neck, hanging on.
It's very sweet.
And I actually took him. So the specific story that I really remembered about him was at about 18 and a half, I moved from Oregon, where I grew up in Portland area, to Texarkana, Texas for a little while. And because I was poor, I took the Amtrak all the way from Portland down to LA, and then from LA over to Texarkana. And I snuck, what's the past tense? I snuck my rat onto the train with me.
Under your hat?
No, he was in my backpack. He was in his little like one of those little containers that, like, sometimes kids put bugs in them. Unfortunately, I had to keep it small so that I could hide him. But I would get ice cubes from the dining car, and I would take him into the bathroom of the train car, and I would open the thing and let him out, and I would hold an ice cube in my hand to melt water so he could get water, lick water off my thumb.
Oh.
Did Templeton, so Templeton made the journey and was okay, and then Templeton lived in Texarkana with you?
Yes, and then he drove back to Oregon with me in my, what was that, a 1986 Buick Skyhawk.
And so it sounds like Templeton had a pretty long life for a rat.
Yeah, he did, and he was I won't bring it down, but he did have a very long life, and I still miss him. So he was a fun travel companion.
Yeah, that's, again, rats are so stigmatized, because of Norwegian rats and the kind of like, rats running around New York City and how we think about them. But like, again, people I know that have had pet rats really love them and talk about what interesting, great personalities they actually have. I found some audio of Templeton from Charlotte's Web. It was not Charles Nelson Riley. It was Paul Lynde, which, if you know, I was mixing up my kind of fabulous guys from that era who were on Hollywood Squares and were kind of living, let's just say, an open secret.
Paul Lynde. Everything well ripened, seasoned with the passage of time and the heat of the day. Oh, it was rich, my friends. Rich.
Ought to be
That was Templeton describing some smorgasbord that he had had
Oh my gosh.
to somebody.
I never heard it. Paul
I
Lynde?
remember that audio.
Yeah. The Paul Lynde was. I'm trying to remember what else he was in. He just was always. Oh, was he in I Dream of Jeannie? Maybe was he like the other
Bewitched?
Guy?
It looks like here. Okay,
Bewitched.
yes.
There you go.
So
And
Cheryl, you were
Hollywood
waiting a
Squares.
whole hour. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about here on this this Wednesday of the Thon?
I mean, I'm just so excited for this particular Thon. And I am really excited about, I know we're getting a little ahead of myself here, but the 5,000th show looming on the horizon.
Yeah, we are too. We just have to figure out what our plan is for that. But it's very much happening, and it's going to be probably the biggest to-do that we've done.
Yeah,
at this point.
I mean, we've celebrated each 1,000 mark, right? But 5,000 is
that's
special.
Honestly, maybe it shouldn't even be legal, but for now it still is. So yeah, we're going to do a big old thing for that, and we'll look very much forward, Cheryl, to seeing you there. How's the family? How are the kiddos?
Everybody's great. Everybody's doing well and healthy. Julian just turned 15. Did you heard on the Blues days? And Irene is 13 now.
Oh my goodness!
So 2 teenagers in the house. It's definitely an adventure.
So it's probably a low stress time.
I was going to throw one more thing in. I feel like you guys are like low key trolling me a little with the magnet.
Well, listen, I wasn't going to bring it up. I have a great joke. I was going to say, hey, Cheryl, you can get one of these magnets and add it to your collection. But I didn't want to bring it up because I thought it was a sensitive subject with you.
Cheryl, let me give you a little more info on this, okay, which is, and even the listeners who maybe weren't tracking these things as closely. So when we drove our van down to do our little road trip to deliver the podcast to people, we stopped at your house in Corvallis. And that was our first stop. And we somehow, when we came out to from the hotel the next morning, I think was that when we realized, at some point we realized that our magnets were no longer on our van. And we like to make these jokes about, somebody in Corvallis took them or whatever. And then at some point it became the main thing we always said when we mentioned you, which was not fair to you or your lovely family. And so then we backed off of that. But here's the problem. Our friend Lindy West recently drove across the country in a van that she rented with magnets on the side of it because she asked me about, didn't you do magnets one time? And I told her how to do it. I said, but be really careful because they will blow off of the van. She got a big magnet with her book logo on the side, put it on her Sprinter van she drove around the country. She said that when she ordered the magnets from the magnet place, she said, do I need to be worried about this blowing off the vehicle? They said, we've never in our 30 years heard about a magnet blowing off a vehicle. She arrived at the end of a cross-country road trip with the magnets fully intact, which really undermines the theory that our magnets blew off of the car.
But we did not have a flat surface the whole way. I'll always come back to this. The van, we have somebody unearthed photos of the van with the magnets still on there, and there was this divot in the side of the van, maybe the size of a silver dollar or something that went across. And I do believe that if a magnet is going to withstand that speed, it needs to be flush the whole way. We had an air tunnel right down the middle of these magnets that I'm quite convinced would have ripped it away.
I mean, maybe. I was convinced as well that it blew off, and then this is just as of this summer, this breaking news from our friend Lindy. But all that is to say, Cheryl, we don't think that you had anything to do with it. And so we've been trying to not just always make that the reference because, of course, that's probably annoying to you.
Nah, at this point, it's the shtick. So I figure I'd just lean into it.
Well,
and honestly, I'm looking forward to having that in my collection of magnets on the refrigerator, but not. They're all travel magnets. I can send you a picture just to prove it.
Okay, definitely.
I thought we were like that close to an admission for a second there.
No. Okay. Cheryl, thank you as always for all you do for the show, and we can't wait to see you for the 5,000th. All right.
Okay, sounds great, guys. Have a great song.
Thanks, Cheryl, for everything.
Bye-bye. What do you think? Should we? Okay, let me do my last Ohio City thought, and then should we?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I got into about 45 minutes ago. I got into sort of a critical state.
I see you kind of rocking.
I have been drinking. I got a late start today, as we mentioned.
Yes.
So then I guzzled a coffee, and then I got a big thing of water, and then I started drinking my Dairyman's iced tea, and I've had that much.
He's about at his limit.
And I got to say, the fact that I have not left, I have been.
You got up to leave a minute ago, and I thought you were going to the bathroom. You were going to fix the frog cam.
No, nothing was wrong with it. I just want to check something. But I have been thinking, like, if we do get a phone call, maybe I could leave during the phone call because I am at his limit.
I know a guy. All right. Well, you know what? That's as good a sign as any that we should probably wrap things up today. I've got more Ohio City thoughts, but we can bring those to the table tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Let's go ahead and call it for this Wednesday show. Again, with the quick reminder, tbtl.net. You can go there. You can click on the Donate Now button. You can help support the show. You can help us get to episode 10,000, which is the goal.
And you can join us tonight for a special
Yes.
Zoom meetup. Go to tbtl.net for details.
That's free whether you donate or not.
Absolutely free, but you do need to make a reservation so that we can send you the link to it. So we'll see hopefully a bunch of you tonight on Zoom. And to everybody else who's listening, thank you so much for being part of TBTL. We'll be back here tomorrow with more Imaginary Radio for all of you. In the meantime, have a great Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. And please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
Power out.